Light, beautiful, high-tech, and affordable. These are some of the features of the 450 CLC from CFMoto. But is all this hype about the brand really true, or is it just a passing trend? This is the only video you need to watch to know everything about it. Technical features, performance in the city, on the road, fuel consumption, insurance costs, maintenance costs, and of course my honest opinion with the pros and cons, so you can make the best purchase decision. I'm Amanda Pagliari, and this is the most charming motorcycle channel in Brazil, which also brings you the most complete motorcycle reviews. So go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. The Chinese company CFMoto was founded in 1989, started as an engine manufacturer, and today operates in several countries producing motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs. They even manufacture KTM motorcycles in China and also participate in MotoGP in the Moto 2 category. Here in Brazil, CFMoto is imported by the Unique Group, which has already been working with CFMoto and CFMoto for ATVs and UTVs for over 10 years, and now they are importing motorcycles and assembling them in Manaus. I've already made a detailed video here on the channel telling the story of CFMoto and also talking about all the models in the lineup, from the single-cylinder models up to the 700 and 800cc models. I'll leave the link in the description and also in the card, so go watch it later. By the way, if you didn't know, CFMoto has a complete lineup. They have motorcycles in the trail, naked, sport categories, and of course this line here, the custom, right? Actually, they're called cruisers. Cruisers here in Brazil are what we call moto custom bikes, right? Because this category of motorcycles is usually very, very customized. That's why Brazilians nicknamed them moto custom. By the way, guys, its name CLC means Cool Life Cruising. Currently, we have 4 models in the CLC line. A 250cc single-cylinder model and 3 450cc models. We already have the Baba being sold in Brazil. In fact, there's a video here on the Canal Motoplay link in the description. And in the card, this model here, the 450 CLC. And its purpose is for you to ride around the city and also hit the road with a lot of style. Its design, according to CFMoto, is inspired by British style. So we have a motorcycle with a more retro vibe. The tank isn't exactly teardrop shaped, okay? So it's kind of teardrop shaped, but not really, let's put it that way. But what really catches my attention about this motorcycle is that it's completely blacked out. The wheels, right? Even here it is, the bar end mirror is very beautiful, by the way, look. You can adjust it here and flip it if that's the case, okay? Very beautiful. And I'll tell you, when lane splitting, how this handlebar sticks out. But anyway, guys, the whole chassis part, the engine, really everything is darkened here, the levers too. That's really cool because it gives the motorcycle a refined dark look. The tank is metal with the CLC emblem here. What's interesting is that here on the engine, you also see written CFMoto Motorcycle 1989 to refer to the tradition and history. That was the year, right, when CFMoto was founded. The exhaust tip, the dual outlet here is very beautiful in my opinion, original here. Really, really interesting. We have the key here on the side, like the more classic bikes, right, the older ones. Also, guys, with a really generous radiator here. Its headlight is round, giving it that more retro vibe. And here we have both a position light and an LED headlight. The cool part is it includes hazard lights here. And look, the turn signals here are in the bullet shape, right? Which is typical of more retro bikes and their LED, very important. And here on the taillight, we also have LED turn signals, but with a 2-in-1 function. That means they work both as a taillight and as hazard lights. Here on the front suspension, we have an inverted fork from Caiaba with a generous diameter of 37 millimeters finished in black, very stylish. And the cool thing is that it has this plastic cover here, right, to help out. And this reflector here, right? To reflect and help with safety, the front suspension doesn't have any adjustment, okay? As for the rear, we have a monoshock with spring preload adjustment. However, you'll need a tool. There isn't any kind of knob here for adjustment. The wheels are made of alloy, very beautiful. Both wheels are 16 inches. They use tubeless tires. For the brakes, we have discs on both wheels. In the front, 320 millimeters in diameter with radial calipers from the brand Rota Juan, and in the rear, a single disc with 220 millimeters in diameter. It's a split seat, so we have two textures here on the outside. One is more non-slip and one part is smooth. This applies both for the rider and the passenger. With this handle, so you can maneuver the motorcycle. With it engraved here, right? CFMoto, really cool. Just giving you a heads up, this little seat here for the passenger doesn't really work, okay guys? It's just for show. So it has 70.5 centimeters from the seat to the ground. I'll get on here so you can see. Look at this, look at this. I'm 177 centimeters tall and the bike still fits me with room to spare. I can put both feet on the ground without any difficulty. The cool thing is that we have forward foot pegs here. A true cruiser, right? With the forward foot pegs, this is actually good for tall people to be able to stretch their legs here. This is already a difference from the bobber. You keep your legs here centered. Here on the CLC, you have these forward pegs, but not too far forward, okay? It's not that extremely forward type. It's more of a mid-forward position, let's say. Overall, the riding position is comfortable. You can fit your legs here. And the handlebar, right? It's wide. It even feels nice to ride. The passenger foot peg has a black rubberized finish and folds up. It looks great. And the riders too, with a rubberized finish. And guys, I'm really surprised by the finish. Here are the details of the bike. Even the brake pedal here is all darkened. The finish, the way the parts fit together. Really, you can see the care from CFMoto. That's really cool because a lot of people are prejudiced against Chinese brands. But that's not the case here. You really see a product with a European standard, right? Very good. Here in the cockpit, you can get a good view of the dashboard. And pay attention to the road. In general, it's a low motorcycle. The center of gravity is right here, very low. Low and centralized. It brings a lot of agility. Its total weight, including fluids, is 181 kilograms. Considering all the fluids and the fuel tank, which has a capacity for 12 liters of gasoline, the engine is a twin cylinder with a 270-degree crankshaft liquid-cooled 450cc, which produces 44 horsepower at 9,000 RPM and 4.2 kgfm of torque at 6,250 RPM. It has Bosch electronic fuel injection, which is very high quality, 6 gears, and we have a slipper clutch. In other words, when you make a sudden downshift, like when you're about to enter a curve, you're in 5th gear and shift down to 4th, your rear wheel won't lock up, which brings more safety. And the final drive, guys, this is one of the highlights of this motorcycle because we don't usually see this kind of feature in this category, which is a belt final drive. And it's not just any toothed belt, it's from the brand Gates, which is an internationally recognized brand, let's say a leader in belt manufacturing. Just so you have an idea, it's the brand that supplies the belts for Harley-Davidson. So it's a quality product, or at least that's what we expect. And here on the left side are the USB ports. There are two, Type A and Type C, with a cover to protect them from the rain. The dashboard is a circular colored TFT screen. When you turn it on, it shows the CFMoto logo. It's a really cool display and has a lot of information, okay? The speedometer is laid out in a circular format, okay? And it doesn't go up to 200, just so you know. Here in the central part, we have several lights and indicators. This orange one is telling me that the side stand is down. The 1 is the gear indicator, and here the 0 is the RPM, so there's no tachometer, right? But it's visual, just like the gauge. You can see the number here at the bottom as it moves. And here we have the onboard computer information, and on the right side we have the fuel gauge. Pressing the down arrow on the left handlebar switch shows the onboard computer info. This includes the clock and range, which tells how far you can go with your current gas. So you have total mileage, you have an average, right, of kilometers per hour, and you also have the fuel consumption, right? Driving time, trip 1 and also trip 2. By pressing enter, you access the dashboard settings here. So we have, for example, here, vehicle information. So here you have range information, battery, temperature, really cool. Here you have trip information, it gives you more detailed information. Here are the warning notifications, right? Service, it's a panel with connectivity so you can receive calls, you can pause music, right? Listen to music. Here in settings, you can turn off the traction control, okay? But every time you restart the motorcycle, it will turn on again, right? For safety. Here you have speed alarm, right? You can hear it's turned off, right? You can turn it off. Here you have the units and this is where you pair it, okay? With your cell phone and also, look, helmet. It means you can do it with your intercom, okay? Anyway, here you have brightness information. You can reset everything, timing, language, and so on. But what I really wanted to show you is this, Moto Play, which is the app from CFMoto. With the free app from CFMoto, you have access to all kinds of information about the motorcycle. And the coolest part is Moto Play here with the map on the screen. So you're going to click here on Moto Play and you'll enter the address. Start.
Head south. Then turn right.
Ha, you have that voice from Portugal, right? Portuguese from Portugal. The screen went dark here, but look, the phone is still on. So the little map is down here. When I lock my iPhone here, then there's no way. The map will disappear from the screen and it will just show this turn-by-turn navigation. This doesn't happen on Android, okay? It only happens on the iPhone. Besides that, the app is super complete. You can, for example, here, look, find your vehicle. You click and it shows where your vehicle is. There was a slight difference, but look, it's really just because of the difference between the phone's GPS and the motorcycle's GPS. But you can see that it's really well located. It even worked like a tracker. Besides that, here in settings, you can click and create a geofence. Look, you can add and set how far away you want it to alert you. So let's say you lent the motorcycle to someone, or you want it to notify you if it leaves a preset radius. That's really cool and it will notify you, right? You see? Vehicle message configuration anyway, it's really cool. It's working almost like a tracker, right? Very interesting and free. Here in the routes section, you have the trip information. So as you ride with it using the app, it will show you the maps of the routes you've taken. So it's really cool. You have a lot of travel information and everything. All the history stays here in your app. The app is free, which is really nice. The buttons on the left side are illuminated, you know, here on the white part, which is really interesting. Here, to operate the panel, you have the left and right turn signals, the horn is here, and behind we have the high beam and also the flasher. And the clutch lever has a reach adjustment. Here on the right side, we have the button to cut off the engine power, the ignition button, and the hazard lights. And the brake lever has a reach adjustment. And the brake fluid reservoir is transparent, which allows you to better see the condition of the fluid. Now that I've introduced the 450 CLC, let's take it for a ride while I share my impressions. I'll end the video with pros and cons, fuel consumption, and insurance costs. Are you enjoying the video? Leave a like to support me and motivate me to make more videos like this. Now hop on and ride with me. Here in the city, it does really well here because it's a very light bike. However, the handlebars can get in the way a bit if you squeeze through a tight gap. Wow, even the reflection here makes you think you're going to hit something, right? Not just because the handlebars are wide, but also because of the bar end mirrors, right? They look great and they give me good visibility here. Yeah, but there's the issue of the width, right, guys? You have to take that into consideration. But then you just have to change the handlebars, customize the 450 CLC a bit, because let me tell you, aside from the handlebars, the bike is perfect for riding in the city. It's a light little bike, a really light little bike, seriously. And the sound is really nice, the engine's pickup and the vibration it gives, you know, it's really pleasant, it really pulls. It's not that kind of torque, guys, like a big V engine. Don't expect that explosive power where your soul goes backward, you know, your body goes and your soul stays behind. It's not at that level, but it's got a nice little rumble here, a pleasant little vibration when you take off. Wow, the stock exhaust has a really nice sound. I hope you can hear it. Look at this. Perfect handling. but the handlebars end up getting in the way. There's no way around it, okay? So keep that in mind if you're going to ride in heavy traffic too. Yeah, wow, it might get a little tiring. Yeah, the brakes, guys, look. Wow, this bike brakes really well. It brakes, wow, but go, sir, go. Yeah, so I'll go. It really brakes well. Honestly, it's a motorcycle that has good pickup. Like, I like its acceleration and it really brakes well, for real. Well, what's bothering me here in the city? It's the seat. I haven't even gotten to the highway yet, guys, and my butt already hurts, unfortunately. My butt already hurts. The seat is kind of hard. So it's already making me a bit uncomfortable. If it were mine, I would definitely change the seat. I just can't handle this seat here. But that's it, forward foot pegs, right? So it's fairly comfortable for tall people. You can really stretch your legs out to the front. So the price is great. It's the cheapest one from CFMoto so far, and it's really beautiful. And it's high-tech and easy to ride. Very easy to ride for sure. It's not heavy. So yeah, it's really cool to ride it here between the lanes. Suspension. The suspension surprised me. I was expecting a stiffer rear, like the bobber, right? The 450 CLC bobber. There's a video here on the channel. The link is in the description and also in the card. But honestly, I thought it was better than the bobber. Wow. Whoa, man. Maybe the guy was trying to avoid a pothole, right? Or something like that. In this city, it's hard to ride in heavy traffic, okay? Other than that, the engine is smooth, it doesn't overheat, the engine doesn't get in your way, it doesn't jerk, you know? So really, it's very nice to ride in the city, except for the issue of its width, right? And wow, and the seat, guys, wow, the seat is really hard. I'm already complaining about it just riding around town. Pothole, lots of potholes. Look, uneven street like this, wow. You end up feeling it, unfortunately, look, oh my goodness. You end up feeling all of this because of the suspension and also because the seat is hard. But a cruiser can only do so much. It's not a miracle, right? So there's no way around it. If you have back problems, take that into consideration. Even more so because your leg is stretched out in front and you don't have that leverage, right? That spring action your legs provide, right? In a more common, normal motorcycle position. Here, no. Here, everything kind of goes to your thigh. The suspension is good. It's not bad. It could be worse, okay? But still, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not an Ibex. So take that into consideration. Because sometimes people won't ride on dirt roads, but there are all these potholes here, these uneven pavements, right? But now let's test it on the road. And when it comes to turning, wow, it turns a lot. You even have to be careful because it scrapes underneath. That happened to me once and it scared me. Anyway, it can cause an accident. On the bike, it really pulls. It's a lot of fun here on the road. To turn, wow, this motorcycle is really easy to turn. I have to be careful. I'm even going to lean my body out here so I don't tilt the bike too much. Otherwise, you'll end up scraping the bottom.
Sure.
Wow, what a fun motorcycle. The engine doesn't vibrate at all. I'm still in 5th gear here. The engine still has more in reserve. Yeah, it's not an explosive engine where you feel that instant torque, that engine that throws your body back, but it's a very linear engine. And it's really nice for the highway because it doesn't vibrate, okay? So, Wow, and the little rumble is really nice. I'm really impressed with this bike's handling. It showed 160 on the dashboard. It goes well, huh? According to CFMoto, the top speed is 153. But that should be the real GPS speed, right? Regarding fuel consumption, we know that the more you accelerate, the more it's going to use. There's no way around it. With me, it averaged 20 kilometers per liter. But on the Bobber, which uses the same engine, I managed to get 22 kilometers per liter, so it usually averages around 19 to 20 and can reach up to 23. If you have a 450 CLC, write down below what kind of fuel consumption you get with it. About insurance, I always say this, get insurance for your motorcycle, whether you have a scooter or an adventure bike. And we know that this type of motorcycle isn't really targeted that much, but is it worth it? Why? Because, for example, you have 24-hour roadside assistance. That's really good. Imagine you're stranded on the road, not because of a problem with the bike, but something happened with your tire, right? You got a flat tire on your motorcycle, for example, on the road. It can happen, right? And have you ever checked the price of a tow truck? Many times, a tow truck can cost about the same as what you'd pay for the whole year. For example, I got a quote here on the Protect Me Insurance Broker website, and look at this insurance here. This annual premium for theft and robbery coverage with 24-hour roadside assistance. Okay? The price went from 543 reais and 89 centavos to 411 reais and 86 centavos. Guys, you can split it into 12 installments of 44 reais and 26 centavos per month. That way, you already have at least theft and robbery coverage with 24-hour assistance. So, Amanda, I want much more comprehensive coverage. Look, I got a quote here from Porto Seguro, a renowned company. You have full coverage insurance with vehicle repairs, of course, with a deductible. So you have theft and robbery coverage for 100% of the FIP value total loss from collision, third-party damage, and the 24-hour assistance here has increased to 300 kilometers. Yes, including high legal defense costs. Very comprehensive. The annual amount is 1,280 reais and 76 centavos already with my discount, guys, plus almost 200 reais off with the Moto Play coupon. How do you get a quote for insurance with a discount? Just click the link in the description or point your phone's camera at the QR code on the screen and that's it. You're good to go. You'll see the quote at the end. Just fill it out properly, of course, with the correct information. And you'll see the price without the coupon and with the coupon so you can see how advantageous it is. Only through the link in the description or the QR code on the screen, and that's it. You'll be all set to ride your motorcycle with peace of mind, whether it's a custom, big trail, or trash. It doesn't matter, even cars, you know? Protect Me also covers cars. The link is here in the description or in the QR code itself, and you'll be all set to ride with peace of mind, at least for that part. I always say that insurance is the essential accessory you need to have on your motorcycle or your car. And with Protect Me, you guys, it's really easy. Handle everything on your phone or computer, no bureaucracy. Click, get a quote, done. And now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of the 450 CLC from CFMoto. You can agree or disagree by using the comments in a respectful way. But first, you need to subscribe to the canal Motoplay. You always come to watch Mandinha's videos, clear your doubts, decide which motorcycle to buy, and you haven't subscribed yet. Let's reach that milestone, the 1 million subscribers mark. I really count on your help. It's free and nothing bad will happen to you, okay? The first positive point is the design. It's a very beautiful design, so that's a positive point. Another thing is the finish. The finish is premium, something we don't usually see in this category of motorcycle, and also not at this price. Hold on, I'll tell you the price soon and you'll be shocked. So that's another positive point. Another positive point is the handling. The motorcycle is very well tuned and refined. Its geometry and the center of gravity are really low. That thing people say about cruiser bikes not being able to take corners, this one definitely can. Positive point for the handling and also for how light it is. Usually we think of cruiser bikes as being really heavy and tiring, but that's not the case with this one. So another positive point. The belt drive is a positive point. You don't have to worry about adjusting the chain, right? Or dealing with unnecessary dirt and stuff like that. Take a look. The sound, guys, is another positive point. The stock exhaust, take a look. Look at its idle, how nice. Then you rev it up here, look. Really a very, very interesting positive point. Another thing that surprised me was the brakes. I actually thought the brakes were even oversized for this bike. I really liked it. It never gave me any scares. And of course, guys, the dashboard is a positive point. Super complete, beautiful, and minimalist. It matches the bike's style, but gives you a lot of information. The app is another positive point. You have all the information in the palm of your hand with tracking. It's really cool. Map on the screen, right, guys? Okay. iPhone blocks it, but Android doesn't. So you have the map right there on the screen. You don't need to use a separate GPS. I thought that was really good. 2 outlets, right? Not just one. I thought it was cool and conveniently near the dashboard if needed. And the engine, guys, it's a fun engine, an engine that doesn't vibrate on the road. That's really cool. And the engine, what excites you? For this category, for its weight, the engine really moved the bike well. So for me, it was a lot of fun to ride it. One good thing about this bike is that it's great for short people, both men and women. It's approved. That's a really good thing. The price, guys, the price, I'll tell you, but it's a great price. At least the starting price. We're already on the second batch, going to the third. And CFMoto promised to keep the price. So that's really nice. Another good thing is the fixed price maintenance, as you can see on the screen. They have it for all models, right? And also for the 400 and 450 CLC, you can already know, even before buying, how much you're going to spend. This last item isn't really about CFMoto or motorcycles. It's actually about our country. Unfortunately, we have to say that there are models that are targeted and others that aren't. And this one is an example of a bike that isn't targeted for theft or robbery. So if you live in areas that are a bit more dangerous, like Rio and São Paulo, at least this bike doesn't attract too much attention from criminals. You don't want to make yourself a target, if you know what I mean. Sadly, we have to stress this because many new motorcyclists don't get it. And this bike here, people don't really go after it, so that ends up being a positive point. Now, I'm going to talk about the negative points, starting with the hard seat. Guys, what a hard seat. I was already freaking out in the city because it was so hard. So it's even harder than the bobber. So that's a really big negative point. If it were mine, for sure, the first thing I would do is change the seat. And the passenger's seat too, right? So it's not a good bike for carrying a passenger. For quick rides, it's okay. But if you're going to hit the road, forget about taking a passenger. The passenger here will definitely suffer a lot. So that's a negative point. Another negative point actually is just a characteristic of the bike. But I need to tell you that it scrapes in corners. And since it leans into turns so easily, be careful, you're going to scrape the foot peg. I'm not a fan because it can act like a lever and cause an accident. But yes, it will scrape, okay? So be careful with that. And another thing is that, in my opinion, I think CFMoto could even offer this as an update on future models. I mean, a dial here for adjusting the preload. Why? Because it's really hard for you to adjust the preload here. So you need the tool that comes with it, but you still have to keep adjusting it. It's a bit difficult, let's say, and if it could be made easier, it would be better. The bike already has so many premium features that for sure this rear suspension adjustment would make our lives a lot easier. Another downside is that you can't carry the tools on the bike because you can't open the seat. So it ends up being inconvenient, let's say. You have to carry them in your backpack. So it's always good to have the bike's tools with the bike. And you can't carry them here on the 450 CLC. Another downside is the handlebar, which is slightly wide. And with the bar and mirror, it gets a lot harder to squeeze between cars when the gap is tight. You can still get through, but it's a little harder. Another downside is just for those who have an iPhone. When you lock your iPhone here, it locks the map. It only shows turn-by-turn directions. And another downside is the suspension, which is kind of stiff. Okay? So, just letting you know, that's a characteristic of this bike. So, adding the stiff suspension to the hard seat, it doesn't make for a very comfortable experience. So if you have back problems or you don't like bikes that are too stiff, keep that in mind before buying. And it's available in 3 colors with a suggested price of 32,990 Rs, already including shipping to the dealership. And tell me, which one is your favorite color? So what did you think of the 450 CLC? Write it down below and share it with your friends who like this style of bike. Send it to everyone because I'm sure they'll enjoy getting to know this new brand. Regarding after sales, I don't know what to expect. It's an important point, right? We'll see how the brand will perform in Brazil. It's important to mention that CFMoto is already present in several countries in Europe and Latin America with good sales numbers and performing very well. So I believe there won't be any problems in Brazil. Regarding spare parts, even before the NIC group launched, right? CFMoto Brazil was already working to have parts available. So I think they are concerned about that, but only time will tell. If you own a CFMoto motorcycle, share your experience below. It's very important that you subscribe to the channel to help us reach the milestone of 1 million subscribers who are passionate about motorcycles. If you want to help me even more, become a channel member where you'll get exclusive benefits and early access to content. But if you can't contribute right now, at least subscribe, it's free. I've got a really cool video up here for you. Down below, there's another great video I'm sure you'll like. See you next time. Bikes and kisses.